Okay, so let's now talk about data aggregation and correlation. I know that sounds like a lot of fancy words, but it's really simple here. What we're trying to do here is to gather all the different sources that are going to provide us with analytics and bring them into a centralized location. There's software out there that we can use to do that. But we typically look at that software based off of a phrase, which is, or an acronym, and that is the Security Information Event Management, or also known as a SIM. Now, a SIM is just simply software that's going to help us with basically the log reviews. And the core function of a SIM is to actually go through and take all the different logs from multiple sources and present it to us in a way that makes sense in a more visual aspect. So in order to pull this off, we often have to load little clients onto our workstations or our mission critical systems and have them report back to this centralized location. Now, another function of a SIM is to actually process or link individual events or even data points into something that looks meaningful, that is an indication of a risk. Now, another critical function of a SIM is that of what they refer to as correlation. And once we've correlated the data together, we actually might generate alerts. Now, all alert systems, there's a problem to them technically, and that is the problem of false positives as well as false negatives. A false negative just means that the security administrators are exposed to threats without being aware of them, while the false positive overwhelms the resources. Now, there's also a new phrase that's out in the wild now. It's called big data and data visualization. Big data is simply just looking at or using unstructured data sets. Typically, it's managed by the SIM itself. And again, the SIM is just our software program. Structural data, such as an SQL database, you will actually use columns to store information about multiple objects. Those are then represented as records. The problem with this approach is that a single database of just tables that are filled in with information can't actually be devised for the different amount and the massive amount of information that needs to be processed. And so we need this application, a SIM, to take that information and compile it together in a way that makes sense. Now, as far as SIM tools are concerned, I'm not here to plug anybody. I'll give you a couple that you may want to make note of for multiple exams. Splunk is one. It offers both historical and real-time data being captured, and it can be used as either an enterprise software program or you can actually deploy it within the cloud itself. There's also ArcSight, QRadar, Alien Vault has got a nice solution out there. And Kiwi Syslog is another one that has the ability to provide central storage and management of logs as well as SNMP information.